So today I've come down to Electrocoin HQ to get a game on John Wick. This is Stern's latest brand new pinball machine. This is the pro version. I'm going to have a go in a minute, and it also gives me a little bit of time to not only compare it to Jaws, but also compare it to James Bond, which is next to it as well. Maybe learn a little bit of the shots, but just get an initial first impression, because I've been incredibly lucky today, and that is Electrocoin, with the help of Pinball Heaven and Stern themselves, have agreed to send this beauty to my house. So I'm going to get to play it, we're going to get to learn it, going to invite some people over, get some people to play it as well, so we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I have had a couple of games, but that's not the most important news. The most important news is just here to my right. There was, you know, the grabbing machines? I won a duck. I've just won, can you see? I've just won a duck in there, which was a miracle. I had about 20 goes. The grabber came down, the claw came down, grabbed the duck, and I've won this. I'm going to give this to my daughter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take that camera off of its perch, have a little look around the game, show you a couple of the bits and pieces, show you a couple of things involved in the game itself. Maybe we'll have a little game, maybe we won't. It might be quite difficult to actually do that with the camera here, but just really to let you know that this is going to be appearing on the channel. We're doing a number of videos on it. First impressions, very, very fast game. I mean, this has had probably less than 30 games on it since the box was opened on this game this morning. There are only 2 of these in the UK at the moment. One of them's over at Funland, the other one is here. And as I said, massive thanks to Electrocoin, massive thanks to Pinball Heaven, who are sending this to my house so as I can review it, learn the game and learn a lot more about it. Truth be known, at this particular point, I've actually played a lot more on Jaws today because people have been lining up to play this and testing it out. I've not played any on James Bond yet, but I've actually had none of these 3 games in my house yet, so it'll be quite interesting and quite fitting, I think, that John Wick will be the first one here. Okay, so let's have a quick look at it. First thing you'll notice, Ian McShane there. I'm not going to pretend to know this license too well. I've seen 3 of the 4 films on it. Ian McShane is doing the call-outs and the voiceovers on this. Very, very good. I think that's a very wise move, actually. So that immediately gives the game some real authenticity. So immediately you'll notice a Stern Insider connected. I did actually log into that, actually. I did log into that. I've done so on Jaws as well, and I did so on Beatles. I've not played, as I mentioned earlier, not actually played James Bond yet today. So I think the first thing you'll notice is sort of everybody who needs to be there appears to be on the play field, and you'll see this sort of cylindrical set of inserts there around Keanu Reeves, who obviously plays John Wick there. Very, very easy to understand. First, that's the first thing I'd say. I did manage to do a mission, and it was very easily displayed on the screen, and it was very clear what you were doing. I think I started it in that ball trough there, which I'll show you in a minute. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So it's really easy to start the modes there. Whereas, for instance, Godzilla, I find it quite difficult to start modes on it, to start the battles, because I always struggle with that shot into the scoop. But anyway, one thing I did want to point out about this game, which I immediately noticed, so you'll see down here there's a ball save. You've also got another ball save over here as well. If one of the ball saves is lit, but you need it on the other side, so for instance, if the ball save on this side was lit, but my ball was draining down this left-hand out lane, then using the flipper buttons, you can switch the ball save to over here. I thought that was quite neat. I did enjoy doing that. And because I've been playing quite a lot of TNA recently, I've been quite used to doing that. So I was quite sharp, and I did manage to save a couple of shots for myself on that one. Talking of shots, we'll have a look through them. So you've got the weapons crate here. Now, obviously, on the premium version, this opens. This is just the pro version. Then you've got this absolutely huge shot in here, this huge trough with the up kicker onto the wire form goes just above it. Very, very easy to hit there. We've got a couple of targets here just underneath. Again, this looks totally different, this section on the premium. And then just behind, hopefully you can see there, you've got a ball scoop, which that ejects that out pretty damn quickly. The orbit works really well on this game. So that left orbit shot here, very, very easy to hit. That works really well. Then you've got next to it, you have this ramp here, which is well, it's very much like the Deadpool ramp, really. Easy to hit, and obviously delivers the ball straight back down here to this flipper right there. Moving on just further right of that, where it says enemy, you're sort of moving into the pop bumper section. Again, a very, very easy shot to navigate in there, so hopefully I'll give you a little look at that. It is really well lit, this game, very, very well lit indeed. And then on this middle shot here, what you have is, you'll just see there, it's a tight shot. It's a very, very tight shot. The ramp is as tight as it looks. Probably the hardest shot in the game for me so far, but I've not really had an awful lot of time to dial that in. Then we move over to the car. I think it's a Mustang, pretty sure. I'm not the most knowledgeable on cars. It's definitely a Mustang and not a Ford Fiesta, though. Let's put it that way. I wasn't expecting that to move at all. Now, as you'll probably know, on the premium, the car actually moves and completely blocks that enemy shot. Well, actually, it does move a little bit when you hit it on here. It's not completely static. I don't know if you can see that there. It does move around a little bit. So that has more movement than I initially expected. And next to it, you have the Continental. You've got a hotel. Well, I call it the Flatiron building, basically. But that's a really neat model. That looks cool. That doesn't look cheap at all. It looks good. Looks good. Then you've got this inside loop here, where you can see where Ian McShane actually is. It's a very, very makeable shot. It looks tight. It's okay. Next to it, with this shot just here. This is very makeable. It looks tight, but because of this guide here, even if you get it slightly wrong, the ball will sort of travel along here and assist you and sort of direct it up the ramp. Just here, you'll see another 2 targets, of course. What else do we have? We've got, obviously, the back glass. I think that looks okay. I do. I couldn't tell you how accurate that is or how reflective that is in terms of being close to the movie poster. For instance, I can tell you that Jaws back glass is very close to the movie poster. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but it looks good. It's in keeping with the game. The other thing here is you have this expression lighting system. Well, this one doesn't have it, but it has sort of forward compatibility. So if you wanted to get the expression lighting on that, you absolutely could do. As ever, you've got your LCD screen on there. I'm not going to pretend that I was able to see loads of the movie footage when I was playing. I wasn't, because I was playing, it's a fast game. A very, very fast game. And funny enough, I messaged Enzo earlier and just said I was playing this. I said it's fast, and he said, is it as fast as Star Wars? Well, I'm not sure it's that fast, but it's so fast that I certainly wasn't able to look at the screen when I was playing it. But it's a good game. It looks to be a good game. I certainly enjoyed it more than when I played Venom, which is the first impressions. I think this is a better game than that, certainly. It definitely captures the mood when you're trying to do the missions. You definitely feel incorporated in the game, that you're John Wick and you've been given, well, you're an assassin, basically, aren't you? You've got to go and kick some people's butt, basically, and it's quite rewarding when you do so as well. Look, nice game. As I say, we're very, very lucky because of Pinball Heaven and because of Electrocoin that we're going to get to take this home, get a good idea of it. So I don't want to talk too much about modes and everything else. You might see on the high scores there, I managed to get the second high score up there. So I had a half decent game on that, but it's been very, very interesting playing it. I have to say, though, I have really enjoyed playing Jaws today because I'm probably able to. This is my second time playing Jaws, and I was sort of able to learn a little bit because there was things going on around this machine. I was able to sort of put about half an hour into Jaws, actually, and really enjoyed that. This is a real consideration for me, actually, it has to be said. This game, I think, is very, very good. Well, as you can see, maybe you can see on the big screen there, we've all been playing games on it and having a bloody good time. Basically, I've got 184 million on Jaws. There you go, Jaws high score, 184 million. So I don't know if that's good or not. but it felt like a decent game. The other thing I should probably say about John Wick was I did get multi-ball very quickly on it, which was really good. Made me feel like I was involved in the game. But this is brand new out the box, and it felt it. You know, it feels like it needs 50 odd games to sort of settle down a little bit. It was so fast. I do think it will settle down a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't jumping around. The ball wasn't jumping around everywhere. It was just going around very, very quickly. So you sort of need the rubbers to sort of bed in a little bit, and the ball to sort of settle down. And dare I say it, a little bit of dust on the playfield never hurt anybody. So don't take that as advice. Always clear your playfield, by the way. And there you go. And there, of course, you have... I just realised, actually, it took me a while to realise that that's a premium. I've not played a premium on James Bond, so I'm going to have a go on that anyway. There you go. Thanks to Pinball Heaven for inviting us down today. Thanks to Electric Coin, who have basically fed us and watered us, and I'm blown away, really, by the fact that I'm going to get my hands on one of these. So keep your eyes peeled, keep tuned to the channel. We've got a lot of games coming up over the next couple of weeks. We actually have Looney Tunes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We have Barry's Barbecue, and we have John Wick, all coming to my house. So we're going to get them all filmed, get a lot of content up there. Thanks again to Doug from Stern, who's here today. He's flown over from the States as well. Had a really nice chat with him. So, yeah, there we go. A bit of a pinball extravaganza on the way.